Girl, 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 girl. Get it together. Get it together. The final two books I have to haul are Hey, how's it going? How's life? My name is Sophia. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought it would be fun to do a little book haul. Now, over these past couple of years, I have been extremely conservative with the amount of books I'm bringing into my collection. So granted, this isn't going to be a crap ton of books, but I feel like I have a decent I feel like I have a decent amount of books to show you guys, even though it isn't like a ginormous amount. But without further ado, let's just hurry up and get into this book haul. The very first book I have to haul for this video is going to be The Final Strife by Sarah El Arifi. In this story, you are following our main character, Sila, who was taken from her home, kidnapped from the royal palace, and was basically told that it was her destiny to start a revolution within this empire. And then our second character is Noor. So let me explain this to you. Sila and 6 other kids were taken from their home within the high-ranking royal official palace, right? And after they were stolen, they had 7 children from poor families replace them. Okay, and so Sila is from the wealthy family who was taken from her home as a baby and was told that it was up to her and her quote-unquote siblings to spark a revolutionary within this empire. Noor is one of the kids that was born into poverty and was switched with one of the wealthy kids. Within this world, there are several different types of blood. So red blood is considered the purest form. So like high class society, they all have red blood and they are all able to use magic. Blue bloods are like the second class. They live in poverty and they struggling to get through life and they have no magic. And then you have the clear bloods who also have no magic, but within this world they are mutilated from birth. So like they have their tongues and their hands chopped off the moment they are born. Early on in this story, we are told that there is going to be a competition between the red bloods. The competitions are for various political leadership positions, right? Because Sila is a red blood, she has this idea to join the competition. However, that does not go quite as she had hoped. And so she teams up with Noor to help Noor get through the competition. And that is basically the gist of the story. I actually read this earlier this year and I really enjoyed it. I love Sila, but I especially loved and adored Noor. She is great, she is wonderful, she is sweet, she is kind-hearted, she is very smart and resourceful. And so her being so sweet and precious, and then she is the exact opposite of Sila, who is very hot-headed, very brash, very in your face. One thing I will say about this is that it does show depictions of addiction. Throughout this story, we are following Sila not only as she helps Noor get through the competition, but as she also struggles with her own addiction and is kind of being forced to quit cold turkey, and we see the effects that has on her physically, mentally, and emotionally. The portrayal of addiction in this book kind of reminded me of the Poppy War a little bit. I thought it was a very interesting thing to add to the story, because oftentimes I don't read about characters who are struggling with addiction. So if that's something you're interested in reading, if that is something that might trigger you, be cautious and aware of that going into this book. Overall, this was great. This was fun. I really liked it. Would highly recommend it. The second book has already come out, and I have plans to read that eventually, soonish. I always say I have plans to read stuff soon-ish, but it's never really soon-ish. The next two books I have to talk about are going to be no surprise if you've been on my channel for these past few months. You will know that I have been trying to get my hands on these books for decades, a millennia, centuries at this point. And that is going to be Daughter of the Moon Goddess and Heart of the Sun Warrior, both of these by Sue Lin Tan. These are the Fairy Loot exclusive editions. So it comes with the sprayed edges. Oh my gosh. And then when you open it, this is what it looks like naked. Hold on, if you can even see that. This is what it looks like on the naked hardback. Freaking pretty, gorgeous. And then we got the end pages. And then for Heart of the Sun Warrior, let's see what it looks like. This is the Heart of the Sun Warrior edition, if you can see that. Freaking pretty, gorgeous. And then this is the end pages for Heart of the Sun Warrior. Honey, if you know, honey, I am the type of person who likes to own multiple editions of their favorite books. And so when I read Daughter of the Moon Goddess, I knew I had to own a freaking copy. And when I saw the Fairy Loot edition, I knew immediately that I had to order it. Terrible accent, why would I do that? Saw the Fairy Loot edition, thought it was freaking pretty, but it was hella expensive, and so I decided to hold off and wait until Heart of the Sun Warrior came out. And so I ended up buying this together, and it was cheaper to buy it together than to buy it individually. And I am so happy I bought it when I did, because them scalpers, it's like $300 per book. And as much as I love special editions, like, I have not reached the point in my life where I can justify that price. But yes, very happy to have those editions in my collection. The next book I have to haul is a book I've also read. I read it this year for the Blackathon, and I knew immediately after reading that I had to get a physical copy, and that is going to be The Deep by Rivers Solomon, yes. In this story we are following, oh my gosh, I didn't tell you what Daughter of the Moon Goddess is about. So, what is Daughter of the Moon Goddess about? In the story, you are following our main character, Xinying. Xinying is the daughter of Chang'e. Chang'e is the moon goddess in Chinese mythology. Early on in her life, Xinying is told that she must not use her magic. One day, Xinying has an accidental flare-up, and as a result is forced to flee her home. When she flees her home, she finds out that her mother has actually been imprisoned on the moon, and so she sets off on a quest to find a way to free her mother from her imprisonment. Angst, romance, badassery ensues, and that is the synopsis of this wonderful, gorgeous book. Moving on. So, back to The Deep by River Solomon. We are following our main character Yetu, who is a mermaid. Within this world, mermaids are descendants of African peoples who were thrown off of slave ships. Also within this world, they have a designated memory holder, and that person is Yetu. However, the memories are slowly killing Yetu, and she wants to be free from the responsibility, and the story goes from there. I read this for the Blackathon. It was great. It was a fun time, and I knew immediately after finishing this book that I had to get a copy. Unfortunately, this edition of the hardback is out of print, so like I had to go to Abe's Books to find a copy. But like here's my thing. I bought this copy so I could annotate it because I love this book so much. But because this book is out of print, I don't want to annotate an out of print book, you know? So like I might end up getting this in paperback, or I might end up getting a second hardcover just to annotate that one. We shall see. The next two books I have to haul are going to be the only books that I actually haven't read yet. However, I am making my way through the series, and that is going to be Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This is the third book in that one Shadowhunter trilogy. I can't think of the name. I'll put the name up somewhere over here when I have to edit this video. So this is the collector's edition, so it's the naked hardback, and I knew that I was gonna get this even though I hadn't read the trilogy yet. Like I automatically knew I was gonna get this. And then the second edition is actually the Waterstones exclusive edition. If you've seen past hauls, you know I have a situation when it comes to Cassandra Clare and her books. And like I keep buying them, but I am so far behind in the Shadowhunter world, and I just haven't really been keeping up. However, I keep buying the books as they keep coming out. So it's bad for me. However, I did decide to actually attempt to read this trilogy, okay? In this story, you are following the children of the previous generation. So you're following, you know, Cordelia Carstairs, you know, her best friend Lucy. She's in love with James Herondale. There is a Paris and a Matthew Fairchild. You know what? It's just you're following Shadowhunter kids do Shadowhunter things. Like if you know Cassandra Clare, if you know her works, then you probably can guess what this is about. Okay, moving on. The next two books I have to haul are actually going to be manga. I'm in my manga era. We love to see it. And that is going to be Spy Family Volume 9 and Sasaki. Okay. The final two books I have to haul are both going to be manga, and that is going to be Spy Family Volume 9 and Sasaki and Miyano Volume 1. This is great. I am loving Spy Family Volume 8. One of my biggest criticisms of Spy Family was the fact that we got to see very little of Yor outside of her relationship with being a mother and a wife. And volume 8.
Alrighty, so editing Sophia here because I actually forgot to finish that thought. But the biggest criticism I had of the Spy Family series was the lack of development for Yor outside of her family dynamics. And volume 8 did a really good job at addressing those criticisms, which is why I really, really enjoyed it. I love the fact that we got to focus on Yor, not just as a mother and as a wife, but like actually as a spy. And it was great. It was wonderful. I loved it. And so far, it is my favorite volume in the series. Okay, bye.
I tried to get volume 8 and I couldn't find it. It was not available at the bookstore. Blasphemous, blasphemous. But I did manage to get volume 9. And it was still good. It was just as fun. I'm loving this series. I do plan on watching the anime really soon. But yeah, this is great. As for Sasaki and Miyano, I have already seen the anime. I have already loved the anime. It is so cute. It is so perfect. And I love these two characters. For those of you, whoa. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, this is a boy love manga. It's fruitalicious. It's Pride Month. Like, read this if you haven't already. Watch the anime if you haven't already. This is great. Would highly recommend. That is going to be it for this incoherent book haul. Feel free to comment down below. Let me know some of the books you guys have bought so far this year. If you've reached the end of the video, feel free to leave me a pride flag emoji for Sasaki and Miyano, and also for Pride Month. Happy Pride, everybody. This is hella late, but like, happy Pride. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you guys soon with another video, and until then, I will see you soon. Bye.